Who, is the Doctor still the Doctor? Steve Moffat on a key theme. I really don't think this Ncuti Gatwa is the Doctor. Or Jodie Whittaker. It's been a long time now. Man, it's been a long... It was better when it was dead in the 90s than it is right now. Right? The post-McGann years until Eccleston, those were better than the last 7 years we had now. Then we had great Doctor Who in like many, many different forms. Now we got the primary Doctor Who. It's just unwatchable, right? It is just unwatchable. Why is there an article summary? Why don't I just read the article? I mean, how long is this article? Yeah, look, really? I need an article summary for like this short. What, you got a head injury or something? What the hell's wrong with you? Is Stephen Moffat done with Doctor Who after this is Christmas special Joyce? He doesn't know. I don't know. You don't know. Rusty Davies doesn't. No one knows, right? If they fancy writing a Doctor Who episode, would be like, okay. I would like to see him do more, right? I genuinely think Stephen Moffat is the greatest modern writer of Doctor Who. He depends on how busy he is and whether he gets to write for the series again. One thing also the series has to still be running. If there is a season 3, I really don't think it's going to be with shooting. And it's going to be cheaper stories. Moffat is your guy to go with, right? Because you need Moffat, you need what's his name, Toby Whithouse, people who can do spooky, scary stories, right? Which don't require most of the stories don't require huge budgets. Yeah, if the story requires a huge budget for it to work, then it's a failed story. Like Space Babies couldn't work on a small budget, and therefore it's a failed story. The story isn't strong enough to carry it through. Is Delta Bannerman a bad story because it just didn't work? It's a different time then. You weren't expecting the special effects to be... Well, you weren't expecting them to be that bad, and they were pretty bad. And also, the casting was also pretty bad. Everything about Delta Bannerman, I just think is pretty bad. Although I am still convinced with a lot of money and editing, you could get a 45-minute episode out. That would be quite fun. But I don't think anybody's ever going to put that money in. I mean, like, maybe let Ben Cook at it. He can't make it any worse. That's what I think. He can't make it any worse. Fine. So Stephen Moffat, Doctor, blah, blah, blah. One thing he doesn't run out of is ideas. Yeah, writers don't run out of ideas, right? That's why when Moffat said, we ran out of ideas for Christmas specials, and we were like, fuck off. Fucking loser. There's one he's become particularly interested in the human consciousness and whether it can continue after death. Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, obviously, I believe it does. I believe it does. It's interesting that he's talking about it. The concept goes all the way back to the 2008 two-parter Silence in the Library and For Us the Dead. Well, I think he was very clearly saying he doesn't think it continues after death during that story, because it didn't. Right? You had to have like a digital Rip River song. A library house, virtual reality, Afterlife, where Donna and eventually River Song ended up. Donna was there as well. Donna was there for a little bit. Recently in Boom and Joyce of the World, Moffat portrayed the people's consciousness uploaded digitally to an AI after their deaths. And the question arose about whether that was still them or a copy. It's a copy, right? It's a copy. With AI everywhere now, Moffat mused in Doctor Who magazine, it's mostly... we got to go over that interview. We will, I think, at one point. It's mostly about memory. We have no idea what a living consciousness is. I disagree with you. I disagree. I mean, like, from a Jewish perspective, there are... there's very, 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 very detailed and intricate writings, right, about exactly that, right? Wait, you just spotted Carolyn Seymour in Babylon 5? Okay. Was he there? I didn't know. The head of the Russian consortium. That's what happened in Babylon 5, I remember. Anyway, so we have no idea what a living consciousness is. Again, I fundamentally disagree. I mean, it's clerics have written about that for many, many, many years. Like, what is the stuff of life? What is the spark of life? That spark of individuality, and I call that a soul, right? I call that our metaphysical existence. Like, one can't quantify or measure love. That's not to say it doesn't exist, or hatred. I mean, you can quantify and measure the effects of love or the effects of hatred, but you can't say where it comes from. Look, I mean, from a Jewish perspective, things work like how any creation happens is like this. First, you have a metaphysical desire, a metaphysical idea to create, right? And then that goes down into your brain, and your brain works out the logistics of how to do it, right? And then that goes from your brain into your actions, and that manifests into the world if God allows it to happen, right? But there's the spark of individuality has always been, metaphysical, right? And it's something that science can't really answer. And it's like, they always say, well, maybe they're able to quantify it. No, I don't think you're ever going to be able to. And I think that's what the nature of faith really is when you get down to it. Well, they're everywhere now. Moffat, Muse, the Doctor Magazine. It's mostly about memory. We have no idea what a living consciousness is. No one's come up with a scientific definition for that at all. It's true. But, again, you can very much limit our lack of understanding. No one has a theory. No, what are you talking about? Again, I have thousands of years, literally thousands of years of intricate writings, very, very detailed descriptions on the mechanics of reality. Ancient religions have theories about this. So the only thing of which we are truly and definitively aware of is something that we cannot explain. That's fair enough. If a living consciousness had your exact memory, would it be indistinguishable from you? No, because each living consciousness is unique, right? I think if let's say they did this in the movie Dark City, which I thought they did it quite well, where they change the circumstance of one's life. But essentially, let's say my soul, whatever, my soul is taken out of my body somehow, and your soul is put in, your essence is put in. You would live a different, and you have all my memories, you're integrating me, and whatever. You would live a different life because your spark of individuality is different. You're individual, right? If a living consciousness had your exact memory, would it be indistinguishable from you? No, I don't believe it would. Is the Doctor dead? Are there current ones copies? I don't think so. I think they're going to go to the heaven sent thing. We had a similar jokey argument about whether the Doctor is still the Doctor after heaven sent. Moffat said, if you take the idea that the teleportation means you're not really the same person on the other end, well, I don't really take that, right? Because that'd be look, teleportation is a fun, like a fun idea of how to. It's a fun transportation method, essentially, right? And once you say it kills you, it becomes not fun anymore, right? I'm sorry. So I don't. From the fictional construct that is teleportation, I don't think you could say that you have to say it's the same person. In fact, Star Trek goes to quite a lot of pains to do that. When you what was that, the James Bond episode of Deep Space Nine? And I think when I'm watching The Sopranos right now, about episode 5 or 6 of season 6, which is the final season. I think when I finished, and I went through the whole of Mad Men before I watched it. I've watched it a few times. I think the next thing I'm going to really plow through is Deep Space Nine, right? I think I'm going to do a major Deep Space Nine rewatch, and I think that excites me much more than TNG for some reason. So you take the idea that it means you're not the same person. When you come out the other end, you're just another arrangement of atoms that think you are. But Deep Space Nine, they went to some great pains to store their personalities separately in the station, which took up all the memory. But the I think I'm trying to remember the Starfleet technical manual, which I got right over there. I think when you convert the matter to energy to transport it, that energy is unique to the matter. So I think that's how they looked at it back in the 80s and 90s. When you come there in the arrangement Apple, I think they are, but of course, the first time the Doctor teleported themselves were the Keys of Mariners. First time we saw them, probably teleported before then. So if you take the idea, teleport simply creates a copy of the original. I mean, this is such a nihilistic point of view. He's not the original Doctor since 1964. What are any of us apart from arrangements of atoms? He asked. Again, that is an interesting question. But the more interesting question is this: look, if you zoom into us on a macro level, like on a micro level, I should say, you see a bunch of neutrons and protons and atoms, moving around. But what makes them stick together? Like, what makes a spoon, like the atoms in the spoon, hold together and make it disparate from the atoms in my hand, right? I mean, it should really go just all merge together. And again, I think that's something that nobody really has an answer to. Other than, from a religious perspective, it's the will of God. What about any of us apart from the arrangement of atoms? He asked, if you're not even arrangement of atoms that used to be, all atoms are identical, so you're arranged from a different set of atoms, which with your memories is just another you. Again, this is a very nihilistic, anti-religious worldview that Moffat has really been pushing for a while. As Moffat pondered this existential question, he concluded, I love the way he said, we don't know, nobody's ever thought of that before. Literally thousands of years worth of scholarship into this issue. Right? He concluded the exact copy of a person with their memories and personality would still be the same person. I disagree. That includes the Dr. Bill Potts and River Song. Yeah, no, I disagree. I don't think you are the same person. I think when they had Riker, the transporter accident that created a second Riker that was trapped inside this moon for something for like 10 years or something. Tom Riker, right? Who had a goatee. That was a really good idea, but I like the evil twin brothers. You have a few of those on Star Trek. I think they're the originals. He continued, what do you mean by originals? If you are the pattern, not the clay. Well, I think you're both, actually. Right? There are no living atoms, but you are made exclusively of atoms. So making you out of another set of atoms just means it's another you. There was a line cut from Forrest. There was Donna says, "Am I still me?" And the Doc says, "You are the fire. You're not the fuel." Again, I'm glad they cut the line because I would have disagreed with it. So the formation matters, but atoms themselves don't. We've all done this anyway throughout our lives. You look different, sound different, and behave differently. I mean, every 7 years you're basically a new being. The only thing that connects you and to your 10-year-old self is a fairly tenuous line of memory. No, and also your unique DNA and RNA for that matter. Yeah, no, you have unique DNA. How are you the same baby version of yourself? You have more in common with the duplicate. It's not about having something in common with the duplicate. It's about having connection to it. There's been another Jewish legal example. We have the majority of Jews. I think about 50-60% of Jews are Sephardi, right? They're from an Eastern tradition, and on Passover they can eat legumes, right? They eat chickpeas, so they can have falafel. They eat rice. They eat peas. Now, Ashkenazi, the Eastern European Jews, they don't, right? So why does one do and one doesn't do, right? It's because in the Eastern European places, they would store legumes in sacks used for grain, which was completely not kosher on Passover, right? So that's why you didn't eat them, right? Now, you can ask a question. All the laws date back to Mount Sinai, again, in our worldview. All laws date back to Mount Sinai. So wouldn't it be, what's more important, replicating what was said then or what your personal tradition is, right? And again, the Jewish answer is it's replicating what your personal tradition is, because that personal tradition gives you a direct connection to God's revelation at Mount Sinai, which means so we add on this thing where Eastern European Jews don't eat legumes on Passover, which is a pain in the ass, and I wish we did, because it's much easier if you do eat them. But to maintain that personal connection is more important than creating and then accurately duplicating, right? So I think that it's something along the same lines. You have more in common than the baby self. This led to Moffat seemingly hint he was not done with Doctor Who yet. I don't think he is. I'll probably end up developing more Doctor Who, but all my sci-fi ideas go into Doctor Who. Yeah, I really wish he would study Kabbalah, because it kind of like deals with a lot of these questions. But it's okay. You know why the Doctor's not the Doctor? I'll show you exactly why. Right? Where is it? I've got to find my video folder here. Doink. I love walking through my video folder because there's always so much stuff that makes me giggle, right? This isn't Doctor Who.
I'll tell you what, when we both get out of this
is not a love story. This is I want to fuck you in the arse story, right?
Let's argue across the stars.
As you come in my mouth. Yeah, this is not Doctor Who. I'm sorry. So I hope I answered your question for you. The retcon Saturday One's Chaotic Master. I heard about this retcon, but I don't know what it is. Let's have a look. Doctor Who's a wonderful, evil, and clever big bad and the master. Stop using Whedon English. Right? It's 25 years later. It's literally 25. Stop using Whedon English. What about him? Constantly retconned with Saturday being the maddest yet. The least like the master yet, I would say. Of all the big bads of Doctor who's from bollocks? Andy Tantamouth, time to get with the times, baby. The master is closer to the nemesis the Doctor has. He's like the Joker to Batman, unlike the Dark Simon Torrance. The Master is the only enemy with equal guile and intellect. You could say Davros. I mean, that's how they developed Davros in the modern era. But yeah, he's the flip side of the Doctor. Evil against good. Every actor who played the Master, like every actor who plays the Doctor, has a flavor of their own. Sacha Vaughan is the latest Master, and honestly, what a waste of an actor, because I think he's a solid actor, Sacha Vaughan, right? But just what a waste of an actor, right? And God, they kept going on about him not being white. I'm sorry. The Delgado Master wasn't blacked up, but he wasn't played as a white bloke, right? He was very cast because he was very definitely swarthy, right? Yes. Also, of course, the quality to Ying to Dr. Yang. They were both agents of chaos, but in D&D terms, the Master was chaotic evil, where the Doctor was chaotic good. That's fair enough. Both have worked with figures of authority and armies to get the way. If the war chief, Philip Maddock from the War Games, was the first iteration of the Master, why would he be the first iteration? And the problem being, I think very, very well pointed it out, that I think in a comment, right, that it just goes so anti what Terence Dicks's original plot idea for the Master was. I tend to look. I mean, it's a very strong argument, right? It is a very strong argument. It's definitely a modern bit of fanfic hammered into classic Who. Again, I apologize to everybody who vehemently and passionately feels that this cannot be. For me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it really, of all the things that Doctor Who sucking a dick, that bothers me, right? I can kind of like see it if you squint. Again, this is fanfic. It's not real Doctor Who, especially the War Games in color, fantastic though the colorization was, and the colorization was indeed fantastic. Yes. So if he's the first, why the first? Why can't it be the lot? I'm like, why does this have to be in order? What about what's his name? Who was fired for not being anti-trans? James Dreyfus, right? What about him? By the time the official monster showed up in the Third Doctor, aka Roger Delgado, played him as an evil as an evil, swarthy foreign mastermind, right? A James Bond villain to John Pertwee's James Bond, who methodically manipulated the greedy, power-hungry, and used hypnosis to stay behind the scenes as the mastermind. The war chief believed in aiding the warlord in his campaign to take over the galaxy as a way to bring order to the chaotic universe. I don't see the Master being that altruistic, quite frankly. Master never had a reason to try and take over the world other than megalomania. When Delgado passed away, it scuppered the series rights of original plan to read the Master as the Doctor's brother. I thought it said brothel. He's bigger on the inside. You see what's on my mind. That has never been canon. In fact, they actively said it wasn't during the Tennant years, wasn't it? Now they're in canon. Not that any fans really wanted to be. By the time at the end he played the last Master Classic era, he was a cackling moustache twirling villain who did evil things for the sake of evil. Yeah, look, the Ainley Doctor, not Ainsley, Ainley. The Ainley Doctor Master, I should say, was completely insane. If you want to watch Time of the Rani, just have the not Time of the Rani, Mark of the Rani. You can understand it all when you just say, "Oh, the Master's trying out some weird alien Time Lord crystal meth," right? And then it makes complete sense, right? He's just, he literally stands stock still in a field for a week and a half to dress as a scarecrow, waiting for the Doctor to show up, right? He's bonkers McBonkers, right? So I think it's more bonkers than moustache twirling evil. Rossi David brought back Master in 2007. He was the first. He was first a resentful, bitter older Derek Jacobi. Not really. Before regenerating into the younger, more gleeful, murderous John Sim. John Sim is the least competent Master, right? I think that, he is the least competent Master. Stephen, there we go. Played the Master as somebody who unjustly sinned and was taking revenge on the universe for what the Time Lords did to him. Stephen Moffat gender swapped the character. I think that worked. I really do, because I really like Michelle Gomez. I thought Missy was a really genuine amalgam of the Doctors in the same way Capaldi was, right? Amalgam of the Masters. I felt you had Ainley, you had Sim, you had Delgado. It felt like the same character to me, right? And again, he didn't recognize her first because she was a chick. Introduced on account of sexual tension in their relationship. I think I don't think they introduced that. I think that was there beforehand. Right. The Doctor with Peter Capaldi, yearning for both his acceptance and a reluctant wish for redemption. One of the bright spots, of Christian's run was to create a Master who not only brought back the era resentment of that Sim did, but also a bigger psychotic murderous stream. Such a one played the character with even greater sense of malicious glee, but added a layer of pain and security. Again, he played him like the meddling monk, right? And he was so dumb. I mean, again, it worked well with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor because she was so dumb, but he was so dumb. And honestly, when he took over the Doctor's body in Power of the Doctor, you probably don't remember because it was, nobody remembers it. We're all rooting for the Master to win at that point because he's so much better, Session One, than Jodie Whittaker. Every version of the Master has been the result of the writers retconning to add more to the character, yet keeping him or her constantly recognizable. Well, again, not really so much. The one has his own Big Finish series coming up. And it's only a matter of time before he faces off against Jodie Whittaker's Doctor again. Probably. And the likely crossover with other masters and doctors. Big Finish are going headlong into that. Right? They are so embracing the Jody era. Will it create enough revenue to make it pay for itself? I mean, that's really the question. Because I don't know it will, right? I really don't know if it will. And how long can they go with not making any revenue, right? Here's a quick look at Big Finish. See what they've got coming up for the year. Because it really is a lot of Trek. It's shockingly bad. Come on, doink. There you go. And while that's waiting to open up, because Big Finish, their website just takes forever to open now ever since they tried to upgrade it. We'll go to it. Let's look at the what's it? Russ Lee Davis's column. And I'm not talking in code. I was thinking about it. Doink, doink. Yeah, no, all this looks bad. Is this open up? See, look, it takes forever for Big Finish's website to open up nowadays. What links a pirate planet, the Christmas invasion, ill-fated Danny Llewellyn, and a branch of Marxist planet? Nobody cares. And yes, look how shit that TARDIS looks. So big, so boring, so empty, so vapid. And Russell Davies doesn't look much better himself. Big, boring, empty, and vapid. Happy New Year! 2025 is arriving with a rush as hundreds of servers across Britain and Ireland hum and whir and brew, rendering gorgeous FX shots for season 2. I don't care. I thought the special effects in 2007 were fine. Right? I don't care. I mean, I remember at the end of Jody's first episode, they had a really boring trailer of all the guest stars. Can I find that? God, that was a boring bloody trailer. Oh no, we should have worked things out then. 1 second. So this, I'm not sure if I have all of the Joe Jonas run on a hard drive. Let's find out. I mean, the only reason I would keep it on a hard drive is for these occasions, to be able to pull out these examples of how terrible things are. Doctor Who. There we go. I have a folder for Jodie Whittaker, don't I? Jodie. Hey, Jodie. Did I get rid of it? Did I say I'm never ever going to need to look at that again? Wow. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I really thought I still had that. Oh well. Yeah, let me look on YouTube. Doctor Who season, what season? 11 trailer? Season 11 guest star trailer. Yeah, it was the most boring trailer I've ever freaking seen. Is this the one? No, here it is. Oh gosh, you were so bad as the Doctor. Hang on, let me pull up this trailer because it's really, I mean, it's always good to remind you of how insanely bad it was.
Is anyone excited? Because I'm really excited.
Well, we didn't know how bad it'd be then. Mark Addy! I know who he is. Don't know who she is, but she looks famous. Julie Hemmons, whatever. Who cares? Shane Zaz. Yeah, nobody's heard of Shobna Galati, okay? No one. Oh, you're excited? No, like this is so boring. Julie sounds vaguely familiar. Brett Goldstein again. Don't know. Is he I don't know. Josh Bauman. Like again, how is he famous? Okay, and his character was awful. Oh, you people are getting above yourselves. I mean, like, why? Oh God, critical race theory of the episode. What shit? The woman from Downton Abbey. And I think he was in a later episode. Lee Mack? I don't know. Somebody I recognize, I think. Lois Chimimba. Who the hell is Lois Chimimba? This is just saying, look how diverse we are with our shitty music. A lot of Coronation Street actors that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hamza Gito. Oh, yes. Let me go and see the new Hamza Gitoa movie. We all want to see a bit more Hamza Gitoa. Art Malik, at least a good actor, right? And I do like the way he treated Jodie Whittaker's Doctor as a complete and total irrelevancy, because she was. Don't know. Susan Packer. Vinette Robinson. Okay, she was playing a character she was playing was more famous. Really? And I mean, again, she looks hot. Amita but why am I supposed to be excited for any of these people? And Bailey Smith. Oh yeah. Okay, Alan Cup. You basically had 3 or 4 stars this whole time, and his performance was awful. Okay, you're fine. I realize.
Let's get a shift on.
Yeah, let's get a shit on. No, Jodie. So, okay, of all those people, how many people are the stars? Mark Addy, 1. No. Kind of recognize the name, but I'm going to say no. I don't know who you are. No. 2, okay. She was big in Downton Abbey, right? 2. 3, Lee Mack, fine. 3. No. 4, Art Malik. No. 5. You have 5 real guest stars in 6. And you just devalued all of them by saying, oh, look how huge it is. I don't know. Anyway. So I don't really care, right? New effect shop. It's hurtling towards us, but as the hype begins to... But there's no hype, Russell. No one's excited. No one's going, eh. I mean, look, I did was it yesterday? I did a preview of 2025 of the best shows coming up. And I looked at, Deadline. Nobody had Doctor Who listed, right? Nobody gives a shit, right? You've destroyed it with your fucking queer bullshit, right? I get no one gives a shit. It has no cultural relevance whatsoever. The hype beginning to build. Oh, shut up. How can you build everything you say now? Is people are going, oh, fuck off, you're a liar. And they are going to say that because you are. How many times are you going to lie? Oh, it's the 73 yards, the best monster ever. No. There's just time this month post-Christmas to step back 1 month to December 2024, where a lovely Doctor Who thing happened to me. Well, shoot, you shut your dick again, did he? As fans, we love this show of ours. I mean, I love it when it's being the show, not when it's being the opposite of the show. The show of we love it. Love how the show has connects to the rest of the industry, how BBC's Party Animals launched Matt Smith before Doctor Who did, how Verity Lambert was assistant at ITV when Sidney Newman spotted the Doctor Who's first producer. None of this is that world shaking for us, right? I'm sorry. And here's another one of those tales to show how Doctor Who and the makers are woven into the we understand, Russell. Doctor Who is made by the television. Yes, we understand that. Doctor Who is, in fact, made by the television industry. Really? In December, the Women in Film and TV Awards asked me to present an award to Firth Tip Lady. Who's Firth Tip Lady? She's a producer and a title on television. Just Google her CV. Peaky Blinders, A Gentleman. Bodies was shit. Fortitude was good. And a distinct lack of Doctor Who for us is, but look closer. They asked me to say, yeah, why don't you ask them? Is she a lesbian by any perchance? Could be. That would make sense. They asked me to present the award because way back in 1998, Firth was a location assistant on my Channel 4 show Queer as Folk. Famously, at one point during the shoot of a very delicate and explicit sex scene, again, sounds like Shooty Gap was Doctor Who, the director would say, could you get outshot for you know, you might get some bodily fluids in your eye in a minute, so take a step back, darling. And we remained mates ever since because she's just wonderful. How marvelous, funny and clever and kind. You say that about fucking everyone. She's probably a cunt. I don't like whatever you say. I believe the opposite of. And she's done a lot of the work with BECTU to improve conditions for her workers throughout the UK industry. She's an absolute star. Oh, okay, good for her. So now it's the awards, and man, we should have all awards completely removed from the entertainment industry until they start making things that are not relentlessly lecturing shit. You don't get any award from anything for anyone. They should outlaw them getting awards. And we're sitting in the Grand Ball. So now it's awards. We're sitting in Grand Ball in Park Lane. We had a posh dinner. Oh, hoity-toity. I'm such a wonderful person. Russell, fuck you, mate. First note she's bigger than the walls. That's not surprised. So she's having a wank. What? So she's getting her speech ready, not having a wank. Okay, that was my editorial. Turned out that wasn't the case. She wasn't, in fact, having a wank. Or maybe she was. Maybe that's how she got her speech ready. Well, of course, I'm going to mention Pennant Roberts, pictured above. Why? What? Okay, I think she tells me this because I'm Welsh, but to me, Pennant Roberts is the face of Doctor Who. He directed Face of Evil, The Pirate Planet. Face of Evil was fantastic. And Sons of it said that he cast Louise Jameson as Leela. He actually, I'd actually worked for him back in 1980. Worked for myself back in 1986. I was a 23-year-old working in theatre in Cardiff, and Pennant somehow got my name. After all the years, I can't remember how, because he was auditioning actors for an episode of ITV's Dramarama, and he wanted to find someone for a lead role, a 12-year-old Welsh boy. I arranged some auditions, but actually it was easy because I'd already worked on a Why Don't You, Children BBC Why Don't You, with a lad called Daniel Evans, who was perfect. And to keep the connections going, 19 years later, Daniel was murdered on BBC One, and the Christmas Invader, electrocuted by a Sycorax whip. Oh, he was that bloke. Okay. He's now joint artistic director of the Royal Shakespeare Company, but never mind that. A Sycorax whip, eh? Yeah, but again, all this credentialism doesn't really work when you just make shit. Oh, and it's not just it's everything. You know, why was Wallace and Gromit good? Because it came from outside the BBC, and the BBC wanted to have good ratings for once, and they did. So Daniel got the job, and it was the very first time I went to a TV drama set as they filmed spooky goings on around Castle Cooch. Many years later, Martha Jones would journey there to find the Osterhag key. And the 11th Doctor and Rory used the courtyard to enter the Calvieri residence. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's the Vampires in Venice episode, isn't it? I think so. Pennant himself was a wonderful man, big and Welsh and Donald, with a twinkle in his eye, great face, says Firth. Well, so I asked her how she knew him. It turns out she owes everything to Pennant. I've known her for 26 years, but I never knew this, she explained. In 94, Firth was living in Cardiff, working in theatre, desperate to get into TV, so she sent letters to everyone asking for work experience. And to her surprise, Pennant Roberts left a message on answer phone asking her to HTV, the Welsh commercial channel, so she went along. Blimey, I love the stories like that, when people like pick up the phone and say, okay. Never happened to me, but like I love hearing when people do that. That building's now having a wank. Marks and Spencer, same thing. She was also a couple of weeks on the Welsh language casualty type show, Glan Haffron. not paid. Fruv had to ask for a Wednesday afternoon off to go and sign on. But the most brilliant experience, it confirmed Fruv that this was the life she wanted to lead. Halfway through the shoot, Pennant called her in for a chat and told her why he'd responded to a letter. I'm intrigued, as opposed to many others he received, right? He said, come back. He said that most requests for work experience tend to say, I'll do anything, I'll make the tea. And this is still true today. But first letter had been specific, saying she wanted to work in drama production. That's why she stood out. Well, good for her. She knew what she wanted, and indeed, that's why she had been so successful as a producer all these years. She knows what she wants. That is rare. You know what I want? You not to be running Doctor Who anymore, right? And Pennant saw that quality all those years ago. It's great advice to write a letter like that, and it's still advice Firth gives out to this day. Trouble is, whenever anybody works out to break into the TV industry or comic books or whatever, that method always vanishes. You always got to invent your own way of getting in, I think. Or just be black and gay. That also is very helpful nowadays. Maybe passing it on here will help some of you too. I love that. There was a pinner of it egging out through the years, still doing good. Then back to the awards. Again, stop with your fucking awards. What an industry that has fucked up and fucked up and fucked up, and let's just openly fucks up, right? Has destroyed every IP they have, and still they can't stop, giving each other a handy and say, "Oh, how fucking wonderful you are," and everyone claps and cheers. What with the handy? Yes, I understand that. And if I had more room, there's a very funny story in which Firth and I managed to completely ignore Zoe Saldana. Can you turn down your lovey bullshit a little bit? Just a little bit? Yeah, do you have to be such a fucking lovey? I don't know, mate. But it feels like the circle is closed. Pennant is remembered and celebrated. The echoes go on. Another producer in the audience, the wonderful Catherine Lewis Davies, another connection to Bad One. She produced The Winter King, okay, and she owns the original Doctor Who script signed by Pennant and offers to give it to Firth. That kind of clever, brilliant man was lost to us 15 years ago, but here he is now with laughter and joy and excellent all-round living on as wonderful as Welsh should ever. Happy New Year, everyone! In these never-ending Doctor Who days. Oh fuck! Please end. Please end. Oh, please end. Hey, I guess we're going to look at Big Finish for the year. Do a quick preview there, because I don't see them doing anything that people are really going to want, right? I mean, I don't know how well these audiobooks do. I mean, they're cheaper to do because I guess it's only one actor. I think this is a loser for them. I think this might break even. I don't see this doing well. I mean, I'm not going to put 25 notes down on this, right? I'm sorry. This one it's got the gay rom-com for the 8th Doctor. V is woke as fuck. Listen. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything here. The first Doctor one is probably the one that will appeal most to Doctor Who fans, right? But everything else, like, I don't see who's buying Zygon Century. I really don't. Again, the people who buy shit like this, who want the woke shit, don't have any money. All right, and nobody has any bloody money anymore, I'm afraid to tell you. But they're not going to take a punt on this. All right, I don't know. The people who would take a punt on it are people like me, but I'm not going to do it anymore because I don't trust the thing coming out your mouth. I'm going to get the Stephen Noonan release, right? VAT PD, no. This I'm probably going to get. Who's writing it? Let's have a look. Written by Richard James and Nicholas Briggs. Okay, well, Nicholas Briggs. I know a lot about you. Hey, a lot of you out there can't stand his work. I like him a lot. This interesting having who's reading this? Paul Darrow, read by Alistair Locke. I think didn't he write this? Paul Darrow. Yeah, it's the book he wrote. How long is it? I can't. 350 minutes. Too long. Like Time Tunnel. I appreciate you diversifying, but I don't see it going well for you. I don't see this being a breakout hit. Call Me Master, no. I mean, so what's okay? So I would probably buy that one, the third Doctor one. Not bothering, it's Ace and Tegan being shoehorned into River Song. Just stop. Right, again, it's really too tied into the Jodie era. The Genesis of Cyberman seemed like a shit story when I first read it in the Cyberman book, the excellent Cyberman book by Anderson Skilleter and Andrew Skilleter and David Banks. The last Susan's War was not very good, I'm afraid. I kind of what actually happened in it? Maybe go, leave me alone with this. Do I remember any of this? Lost Sun, Golden Shark, not really. And that's the point. I don't remember any of it. Whereas I look at this stuff and go, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that. Yeah, Domain of the Void, yeah, that was excellent. Don't remember any of this. Torchwood. Am I going to go for this? They do one traditional Doctor Who release a month, which is probably the right amount. Alan Barnes and Phil Mulrine, well, they're good writers. Okay, fine. So March is, I'm probably getting this one. So yeah, they have one a month. Paternoster Gang, they're probably going to have another Doctrine or something as a Hook. Hook just isn't doing anything for me. This is their traditional release for April. Doesn't interest me at all. I just got enough Fifth Doctor, frankly. Planet Crinoid Nightfall, no. It's again, I'm not taking a punt on it. And also, I got all the other companion chronicles, but no, I think I'm down on this one. Although it is Lauren Cornelius and Stephen Noonan, I do like to support them. But man, it's $30, $31. Who's writing it? Jonathan Morris, importer, Paul Morris, and Christopher Cooper. They are good. Yeah, maybe I'll look at this when I get close to the time. Anyway, I don't know. Dark Gallifrey, they fucked that in the arse. Right? So this is Missy versus the Seventh Doctor. They've lost all momentum with it. They really have. Hook, no. I can't imagine the Sixth Doctor is going to do anything that isn't woke, agonizingly woke and annoying. Dark Gallifrey, Torchwood. I don't know how if they can. It looks like they're going to be operating at a loss this year, right? I will be surprised if the Seventh Doctor one does well. The Fourth Doctor will probably do well. Geordie, yeah, flush that money down. I already bought this, and the first one was excellent. Okay, the second Doctor Adventures. The last box set was a bit crap, but I've really enjoyed these. Right, I've really enjoyed all of these. So we know nothing about it as yet. Audio novels not so interested. Starring no. Dark Gallifrey. No, honestly, you just destroyed it. More woke lecturing, which again, I've never seen this like them. At least they're saying it's woke, which is good. Death and Life River Song, no. Dark Gallifrey, no. This I'll get. The first Doctor Unbound one, he's basically playing the Cushion Doctor, no. Lost Stories, I wonder what to do for the next Lost Story. Call me, no. Again, look how hard they're leaning into the Jodie era. It just strikes me they're going to be operating at a loss. And I don't know how long they can operate at a loss for. There's so many releases here. I just go, why? War of Gallifrey, War Room, Jodie, Time Tunnel. Okay. Good luck, Big Finish. Good luck. It seems like you got a whole year of shit in front of you. Like, how many releases there were they even tempted to buy? Okay, I'm going to be nice and say, I'm not. No, Eighth Doctor range, unless they do something new with it, no. I'm bored of the time. Seventh Doctor has got to do something new with it. Most of these things are not nothing here. I'm going, yeah, okay then. There's going to be more audacity, no. There's a better chance than not of the Third Doctor, and the War Master just got boring, I'm afraid. So, okay, one definite pre-order. Right, not sure about the Fourth Doctor range anymore. let's say that. Okay, let's say that I'll go for those. Already, 1, 2. Fine. The second Doctor, and that's based on it being good thus far. Again, seventh Doctor, I haven't bought one of those for ages, and because they haven't been good. Right, I haven't bought the fourth Doctor range for ages because it hasn't been that good. Man, it is a bit of a bloodbath, isn't it? Look at it. Wait, 1 second. You have Missy Part 1 and Missy Part 2. Is there a Missy Part 3? Oh, it is. Okay, must say. And then they got another Dark Gallifrey. Yeah, no, none of these are definite absolute pre-orders. Not even the Tom Baker stuff, sadly. 3. They got 4 things I'm going to pre-order this year, and so many things that I just don't see appealing to many people. I just don't. But I guess we'll find out. You know, if they can make their way through, they can make their way through. Good for them. But I really do you think people are going to buy the Fugitive Doctor stuff? She isn't very good. I mean, that's really the bottom line. She's just not. I mean, she was good when she was next to Jodie Whittaker, who was awful. But she's really not very good. So I don't know. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.